Hello, Ellie here, checking in, showing up, driving to work. Thought I would, you know, welcome you to my drive and into my mind and my heart a little bit. Because, yeah, I figured, why not, just share myself and, yeah, and check in and kind of talk through some things, some stuff and things. Um, Yeah, so I'm feeling a little groggy, honestly. I was up a little later last night, and I just think the winter is getting to me. Just doing my best to be positive, optimistic, keep that inner light. I miss the cold and the dark, and yeah, so that's a challenge. And my body, I can just feel just slow down and just kind of like. Screen. That didn't make it any better. I got oil on my hand. Wow, Ellie. Yeah, so I just gotta wipe that lens clean, and sometimes it doesn't really get clean very easily. Okay, whatever, that's fine. Yeah, deep breaths into the moment, and yes, I do like to talk through things, and yeah, like I have friends I can text and call and talk to, but it's different when I'm making a video with myself, for myself, first and foremost, and also with the intent to share with whoever on the algorithm out there may come across this. Because, yeah, I feel like I like to relate and connect and share and receive and listen to others as well. So this is more of a one-sided thing here, where usually if I'm talking to a friend, it's like an equal exchange of like this and that, so it's good to switch things up a little bit, but luckily I do feel very supported, and I have like the most connected, like healthy relationships I feel like I've had in my life. I was just sharing with someone last night about how I feel like for most of my life I didn't really have close friendships or people that I really like leaned on or relied on or looked to for yeah, like I never really sought out comfort. My parents, I don't feel like they really knew me. I had a lot of like angst towards them, and even like my friends, my group of friends I had in high school, it was just centered around drinking, and I don't feel like it really wasn't known. And then like my romantic, like sexual partners have been the ones that I've like opened up to and shared myself with, and but even with those relationships, they've been a lot of shadow work and a lot of like unconscious, subconscious stuff there. And yeah, just with like insecurities, anxieties, jealousies, possessiveness, like all of that kind of stuff, and I can know theoretically, spiritually, like how I view love and what love is as like a liberating force of freedom and acceptance, and something that is trusting and all seeing, like all knowing in a sense, unconditionally through someone's just to be. It's a presence. It's beyond words. Like I want to make sense of it and explain it and embody it and live it out through my relationships. But and I've done my best to do that, and I feel like I have done a pretty good job at that. And but it's not always easy to do. And of course, like I have wounding, I have patterns, I have pain, I have suffering, I have all these other things that get in the way of healthy relationships, or have. And also, it's not just all on me. Like I have blamed myself a lot, like, oh, I did this and that was that, but like often it's been my partner's inability to go within and take responsibility, accountability, or unpack their own stuff, and have they have their own wounding, and they have their own stuff too. And some people's stuff is more compatible than others. Some people trigger and poke at wounds more than others do, and especially when there's like similarities and mirrors there of like what is yeah. But but yeah, it's funny. I'm like, oh, it's all in the past now, and it's like, yeah, it mostly is. And then I see stuff come up in the present, and I feel like I've done a lot of work to be self-aware and see what's going on, try to understand it and not react out of a feeling. Like the lessons lately in life have been like slow down, step back, go within, be patient, no codependency, no expectations or like unhealthy expectations or attachments. Like I can have needs and desires and wants and boundaries, but like I can't force anyone to be anything other than where they are as they are. And I can know what I want for myself, but if someone doesn't align with that, then like, okay, I let go. Like I can't make them want to, show up differently. And in the past, I feel like I just really wanted what I wanted from the person I wanted, and they weren't able to show up and meet me. They didn't have the capacity as much as they wanted to, and that's the sad thing, is like they really wanted to, they just didn't know how, or they didn't have their own support system to help them through their life stuff, or have like a soundboard or a mirror or reflection, a place to reflect that expanded their awareness instead of like keeping them in their own little rigid perspective. And because we have blind spots. We all have blind spots. There's things that we see and there's things that we do not see. We can't know it all and see it all. And at the same time, like, yes, we have an intuition, we have an intellect that is aware and is there and sees and knows things too. So like finding that balance between being humble and confident in oneself. It's like walking the middle way, the middle path in between all of the different things. Yeah, my voice, like, I don't know why my voice is like, I don't know, I've been like singing. I think I've been straining my voice a little bit because I've been singing more, which feels good, but also it's so interesting, like on the road, like there's all of a sudden a bunch of backed up, like cars are backed up, and then all of a sudden it's completely open. Like, how does that happen? Like, well, where, like, there wasn't any accident or anything, like, blocking people, so, like, why was there, what's up with that? Why, how? Don't understand. I don't know, but my car's heat is not getting hot enough for my liking, and it's freaking 13 degrees out. Need to get that fixed. It's like, it's warm, like when it's coming out right there from there, like it feels warm, right? And then it comes out and it gets diluted into the air, and it's not warm enough. It's funny, I feel so spoiled with that, even because I'm like thinking, like, back in the day, we didn't have heat at all. Somehow we lived through winter without all the frills of modern day society. And if I wanted to get anywhere, I get in my horse, my carriage, the cold of winter. And like cars are time travel if you think about it, because back in the day before them, it would take so long to get from point A to point B in the modes of transportation that we had, and then the invention of the car, the plane, of the train, all these things. It was like we were moving, like time had to move faster, like people were expected to be places faster, and like things were just like everything just like the speed in which everything's moving is just picking up. And at this point too, it's like time and space and the way that we perceive it in this modern day is just so like sped up, and we're all like, our nervous systems and our minds and bodies are just like, time is money, how do I maximize and efficiency? It's not even a word. Efficiency? I don't know. Yeah, and that's kind of stressful. So I'm just going to take a breath to counteract that stress that just came up, thinking about how just like high impact everything is. So much going on. And I'm over here complaining about my freaking heat. Okay, so then it's like, okay, don't invalidate my struggle, or I'm talking to myself, because yes, it could be worse, but like that's a little annoying. Like I can say that. I think too, like the other day, like someone was telling me about their health issues they were having, and they were like really bad, like it was not good, but then she was like, oh, it could be worse, or there's someone else that has it even worse. I was like, girl, like, no, you don't need to say that. Like, just what you're going through is a lot. Like, that's hard. You gotta, like, don't compare yourself. Like, I think people naturally do that. Like, they invalidate themselves, because for so often I feel like people around us have been invalidating, where it's like, oh, it's not that bad, get over it. Just get up. And I don't think that's healthy. I think that we gotta, just like shit sucks sometimes, and maybe, yeah, it's not as worse as it could be, and let's be grateful and be like appreciative of what we do have. And also, the reality is that that's just shitty in different ways. And but yeah, someone's like bottom or like negative, like pretty intense negative experiences, like they don't have a comparison to what that feels like in their body and their experience. Like that just like, it feels awful. So that degree of how awful that is for someone who hasn't experienced as low of things could be comparatively just as equal as someone who has gone a lot deeper and lower within their experience, but to them it feels just as bad, you know? So how can we tell someone that their reality, or tell ourselves first and foremost, because I think that's what most of us do, we'll like discredit our own experience and be like, well, it's not that bad, get over it, like, you know. But no, I mean, it's we really gotta like honor our feelings and our experience for what it is, and not gaslight ourselves, because we learn that through the world around us. Be constantly gaslighting us, like we're being bamboozled all the time mentally, just like distracted with so much nonsense, and I just don't understand how it's still working on some people. I'm like, that commercial actually like worked on you and you want that now? Like, I mean, yeah, it's subconscious, unconscious, but like, why are we buying these things? Like, why are we consenting to these corporations and businesses and products? Like, what is this shit? Bah humbug, but not bah humbug, because he was a grumpy old man and he needed an angel to come and show him how good he really had it, or what he did have, because there's that balance, right? It's like, okay, appreciate, gratitude, focus in on the good, on what you do want, intention, and also like just be real in that this is not ideal. I'm not having a good time. Like, it'll get better, let's be positive, but like, okay. So no more gaslighting, validating, and spiritually bypassing important things. Whoa, I've got a triangle on my eye. Am I part of the Illuminati? I'm not. Well, illuminated. I am illuminated. But, what is the Illuminati? Who are these guys? What are they doing? What do they want? Is it even real? Is it all conspiracy? Are these conspiracy theorists just making up stuff? Or is there actually a group of people who are manipulating reality to enslave and entrap the minds of humanity to be mindless consumers, consuming and ingesting trash content, trash media, things that are, it's like a spell. I feel like so many people are under a spell, and someone's got to be like casting the spell, right? I mean, does that spell just come from nowhere, or are there people that are like consciously, intentionally creating things that are controlling the self on some level? And maybe not controlling, but influencing. It can't control you unless you let it. So we either consent to whatever it is, or we say, no thanks, I'm okay, I'm gonna pass on that. I'm gonna choose a new way, a new path, something of a higher consciousness that is none of that old paradigm stuff. We're gonna create a new world, a new age. No, I don't like that. I don't like the new age. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know, but I do, and that's where it's like, okay, I've been doing that a lot, where I'm like, I'll get on a roll, and I'll be like, I don't know. Some part of me, like, it's like I feel like I know something, and then I'm also like, I don't for sure know, though. Don't take my word for it. Take it with a grain of salt, you know, and don't mind me over here. Just, I don't know. But yeah, so maybe it's not as nefarious, is that nefarious? Maybe is that the word? As and dark as we imagine. Like, maybe whatever it is that's behind the scenes, pulling the puppet strings, is actually a part of our liberation, and that in the enslavement and in the experience of going through confrontation with contradiction and whatever it is that's up against us on some level, or maybe just like, you could say it's building resiliency, or it's like, I feel like my brain goes in so many different places, but the like plants, when they're exposed to more elements and wind and stress, they actually grow stronger. Fun fact. So it's like, well, maybe not all plants. I know, I'm sorry, I'm bouncing around here, but the idea of like being exposed to certain stressors and toxins even, and like the elements, like it can actually strengthen whatever it is. Like we are all kind of like plants, you know. We're all each our own individual unique plant that requires certain things, you know, different degrees of light and soil balance, pH, water, location, environment, you know, like we're moving, grooving plants, you know, we're up and moving around. And but what am I saying? Okay, so these things that feel like, yeah, they're working against us and humanity as a whole are actually like what eventually is what is a part of the path towards liberation, is uprising against and choosing something else, but without the contrast of that other thing. Like, would we even appreciate peace and no peace in the same way if we didn't have the other thing, which, you know, it's the whole balance yin yang type dealio, which we've all, you know, without darkness is there light. So whatever it is, like trusting that it's all part of humanity's evolution and growth, and choosing what we're choosing. And yeah. I have some cacao. Oh no, I didn't bring cacao today. I don't really have anything that's gonna put a pep in my step. I'm just gonna be raw dog in the day with just I will have a little micro bit of caffeine from the cacao. Not too much, but I don't like coffee, and I don't drink like other highly caffeinated stuff because caffeine kind of, I don't know, not super, yeah, but it does really help sometimes. Creatine too is something that I occasionally will have because it feels good for my brain and my body, but you gotta stay super hydrated. It can dehydrate you. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. People going to yoga class with their yoga mats. Sounds really nice. Stretch and strengthen the muscles and core and soul and the voice. Yeah, last night I went to a song circle, which was really sweet, singing in community and singing together and putting our hearts and intentions out there into the world. A beautiful woman named Steph Plant led the circle, she has her EP she's releasing soon, which is exciting. But her music is so heart-centered, just like her voice has so much soul. It's just like so real, and it's like meditations and prayers, and it just feels like it's so powerful. Oh my gosh. Oh man, I kind of wish I would have. It's okay. Okay, thank you. Oh my goodness. I got this. It's okay. I have 2 cleaning clients, so I will be moving around, but that's okay. I'm gonna do it. I got this. It's nice because when I'm cleaning, I can call a friend and pop in my headphones and clean and talk, and it's good. And I like that about my job. I can multitask and listen to music or an audiobook or podcast or something. So if you have any recommendations of things for me to listen to, if you made it this far, you want to share anything, I am all ears. I'd love to hear new things. And just in general, like anything you feel called to share. I love to know about you out there, and really appreciate comments and feedback, and just relating, connecting with whoever is out there and comes across me and my page here. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Woof. All right. Wow. I just woofed. Snow. Okay. All right. The day begins. Well, the day already begun, but work and stuff begins. Gosh, I just feel like I look tired even. Like I'm swollen. My voice feels. Why though? And yeah, I don't know. Okay. Peace and love and gratitude and flowing and growing and knowing.